There is a universal law that if you can understand it, it will help you to live a more peaceful life. There are many different universal laws, but the one I'm talking about is called the law of impermanence. I learned about this law while doing higher self hypnosis sessions with my clients, and then I went online and Googled it and found that this is actually a Buddhist concept. It states that everything is subject to change, decay, and death. And if we can truly grasp this, we'll live a much happier, more peaceful life, a life full of flow. And it eliminates a lot of the suffering that you would have if you don't accept the law of impermanence. I love the way this website called The Lion's Roar describes it. And reading the notes from my screen, it says, when we cling to people, objects, or concepts, we create dependencies and expectations that then result in disappointment, frustration, and pain when these attachments are inevitably disrupted or lost. Moreover, attachment fuels a ceaseless cycle of craving as we chase after the pleasure linked to these attachments. This perpetual seeking and grasping entraps us, hindering genuine contentment and happiness in our lives. I want to pull this around to a recent higher self hypnosis session I had where my client's higher self gave her an example of how her refusal to accept the law of impermanence is causing suffering for her. Reading the notes off my screen from the session that I just did with her the other day, my question to her higher self while she was under hypnosis was, how can she get over her fear of friendships ending? Because people do come and go in our lives. What is it in her that needs to heal in order for her to not live in fear about constantly losing friendships? Her higher self said she needs to be able to see that even if friendships come and go, there will always be more, and you're not going anywhere. Some friends are here to be a lesson or an experience, and she should see this as a possibility in a friendship, and people are not there to hurt her. Then to help her out, her higher self said, I'm going to share this knowledge with her now so she has that as a reference. I just gently placed that into her mind. In other words, her higher self was there to teach her that friends come and go and people are here for a lesson. There's nothing that is permanent. You've probably heard that saying, people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And it's true. It's our attachment to people, to objects, to places, to thoughts, to concepts. That is what causes us suffering. But if we can learn to live in flow and love with non-attachment to people, places, things, ideas, and concepts, we will have a lot more peace in our lives. But how do you teach yourself to not be attached to people, places, things, and ideas? How can you learn to be in more flow and thereby have more peace and more happiness? You might be tired of hearing this if you're on a spiritual journey because it seems to be the answer for everything. But yes, it is the magic word meditation. There are some great meditations out there if you've never tried meditating before. And I also have some good ones if you go to my website, wokelightworker.com, including one called Meeting Your Higher Self. But it really is as simple as quieting your mind and just noticing things that come and go in your life. Notice physical sensations, notice thoughts, notice emotions. Think about times where you've maybe been angry and then the anger subsided, or you've been happy and the happiness subsided, or how different people have come and go in your life. And without looking at it in an emotional way, look at it as just the flow of life itself, that these things just happen, that it's part of life. And don't judge it, just observe it. Think about different things that have changed in your life, again, without judging them as good or bad, but just noticing them, just thinking about them, and consciously reminding yourself that this is just part of life. Things come and things go. And bringing the awareness into your consciousness, into your mind, that everything is transient. And when you understand that things are transient, that things come and go, you're less likely to be clinging to possessions and material things, less likely to be clinging to people or places, different relationships. So even if it's just a few minutes in the morning or a few minutes before you go to sleep at night, just notice the different things that come and go in your life and that change, and remind yourself that you're safe, that it's okay and that it is truly just a part of this life and this thing called the law of impermanence.